Welcome back to another reading. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We're gonna go ahead and pull a general reading for you guys. So what's a general reading for us? Expectancy. Right? That is your message. Let's go ahead and just look up a couple definitions what that could mean. Okay.
Expectancy.
So the case of thinking or hoping that something, especially something pleasant, will happen or be the case, or to be the case. So you could be expecting something, right? Something great's going to be happening. You could be expecting. You could be getting messages or dreams, or even visions of something great coming into your life. Whether it could be inheritance. It could be it could be a bunch of different things. A new opportunity in a career field. New partner, maybe a relationship. You could be expecting something. You could be expecting a life, a baby, things like that. So you could be expecting something good to be coming into your life. That's what I'm picking up on. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. So this deck is going to be on our mystics. We're going to see what is going on in the mystic world, in the tarot community. Okay? This is a general reading, so just go ahead and just clear your minds. And just actually just guys clear your minds and just see what pops up, right? All right. Spirit, what message do you have for us? Okay, so the first one I'm picking up on is the High Priest. Right? And you could be expecting, authority, right? So what I'm seeing with this card, it seems like you're awakening your true powers. You know what I mean? You're able to also have balance, right? You might have found balance in your life. You might have found a routine that works for you, and it is allowing you to do everything you want to do and need to do at the same time. In a time management scale, you're able to get everything done, such as like you're not staying up late, thereby you're not staying up late, you're able to wake up early and also get what you need to get done. You might be going for runs, maybe you might be reading more books. You might be just, being able to just handle every business, do all your errands, and also be able to do things that you love as well. Maybe it could be doing makeup, doing hair, extending your career choices, things like that. So I'm picking up that you're enlightening your powers to find balance, right? Because I'm when I see these two things that they're holding, when I think of somebody, I think of like a balance type of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm picking up balance. So the plane could be me taking off and everything. So picking up on balance. So that's good. All right. So balance. You could be getting back with your balance with just even. And maybe because of you having more, being able to balance things better, like your things that you want to need to do and create a structure for yourself, you could be expecting something great to come out of that, right? It's very well enough to be off of us. Okay, we have 8 of Wands, right? Such as the plane, you can be taking off like a shooting star. You know what I mean? So these things could be coming out as you find balance. You notice that everything that you do, you see upgrade. You know what I mean? You see yourself more mature. You know what I mean? If you're young, you see yourself more mature. If you're older, you see yourself as wise, wisdom. You gain a lot of knowledge in your youth years. So you're able to teach a lot of young people, a lot of people your age, the benefits of just staying focused and how do you maintain to be, how do you get to a certain age? Just by having balance in your life and just by taking your time with life, you know what I mean? Not really taking it slow per se, but more like you have developed your own routine that works for you, thereby you can teach others that, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm picking up on when I see that. I think of like shooting star. I feel like you're constantly evolving and escalating like you're constantly going up. You know what I mean? You're constantly rising, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of these things, financially even. You're just constantly going, right? Because of this balance that you found, and because of this balance, you're gonna expect to grow, right? You're looking to grow in this lifetime. Spirit, what the master got for us? So the next one we have is the sun. You might need to get out there and do some sun gazing, or even just connect with the universe a little bit more. You know, sometimes you could even or you could be somebody that likes your sun. You could be somebody that's, you know, when you go into the sun, you ever feel like dawn, and you know maybe you work indoors or something like that, or you know you're always inside. You're in a building all the time, and you feel like, you know, you feel in dawn. It's okay to take a little 15-minute break to just step outside. You ever notice when you step outside and you feel the sun, you feel a little bit better? You know what I mean? You see the little light a little bit better, you know? So that could be a sign for you guys to Spirit want you guys to go out there and just, you know, meditate just a little bit. You know, it's a little meditation going on. So just meditate a little bit in the sun. Even if you have like a skin irritation towards the sun, you can sit there for like maybe 2 minutes, or even if you can sit in shade and then just observe the rays of the sun, the way they, you know, the way they hit the ground and everything. Just observe those things. But definitely, I encourage you guys to get out there with evolving nature with the sun rays, so you can be more connected and feel a little bit better, right? Because you can expect good things out of the sun, such as you can expect. If you put wet clothes in the sun, it will dry it. So, you know, we can expect the rays of the sun to give us that nutrition, or even give us that glimpse of hope. You know what I mean? And everything will be okay if you are in these times, right? All right, Spirit, what other message you have for us? So we have Chariot. I'm picking up one Chariot. So maybe because you're doing these things and you're feeling more balanced with yourself, your Spirit's asking you guys to now focus on getting free. You know what I mean? You have now, because you're starting to develop a connection with yourself, and that's very important to develop what you want and what you already know what you need in life. Once you establish that structure, start developing what you want in life and how you're gonna get it, and then only then will you be free. Because once you don't allow society to control you and you control your own life, you don't allow people to control you, tell you what to do, and know all that anymore. Once you become free with yourself, only then will you be truly happy. So this is what I'm picking up on. And you can get by just by simply meditating, simply just realizing what you like, what you don't like, and moving towards that aspect. And if you see an opportunity, take it. If you see an opportunity where you can, you know, where let's say you're in a house with 2 individuals, and let's say your husband or your wife decides, okay, look, babe, I got this bills or whatever. And let's say you're single. Let's say you work towards it, or you're, you know, it's just different ways to look at your resources, and it could be a way where you might not have to stay in that apartment. Maybe you have to downsize a little bit. Maybe you have to, you know, maybe you have to do things, but things work in mysterious ways as well. So you might not have to downsize. So it's just a matter of seeing the opportunities that come and say, okay, once you can, even if it's just we never know how long it could be, but granted, that's how sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes you make a few sacrifices to gain the bigger goal. The biggest goal, what I'm trying to say is, meditate and you will see. You know what I'm saying? We're never going to know how we are developing if we never analyze ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know if companies and things are working, or sales in general are working, when you do data. So you have to do data and inventory yourself to understand where you're heading and understand what you enjoy, what you don't like, things like that, and make the necessary transitions to be able to, you know, pursue a better happiness. And how you do that is with meditation. Make sure you guys are sitting on and actually thinking about your life, and actually thinking about, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that, how can I get it? You know, it could be anything that you do. It's just, you just have to be consistent, because if you don't be consistent, you're never gonna know the results. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be consistent whatever you choose to do. But that's what I'm picking up on. Right? You can be expecting great things from doing these habits. Daily habits that you conduct will determine your future, and these are facts. These is like concrete evidence. You could tell. It's like if you was to eat 100 Twinkies every day, the effects of your health will change versus if you was to eat salad every day. I'm not saying either one's bad or good because I mean I'm not a health person out, but I can say that logically speaking, if whatever contains the most sugary and all of that, it's not. It's just not ideal, especially it being made in a factory. Like it's processed, so it can't be natural for your body because you ain't gonna find a Twinkie in your woods. You see what I'm saying? So you just gotta think about stuff like that. When it comes down to it, Spirit. What other message do you have for us? You're gonna be expecting something is what I think this message is about. Expectations. Okay, so somebody might have been trying to play with your magic and everything around them could be dying off, is what I'm picking up on when I see this death card. So now, because you have balance, right? You have awakened your powers. And the people that's tried to maybe, get involved, they have now perished. Their ideas are being perished, their ideas are being or this could even be any toxic thoughts that you've thought about could be perishing, it could be dying off from your brain. You know what I'm saying? Any toxic feelings that you was used to seeing. Maybe you was with a lover and you're so used to those toxic traits that when you got with your new partner, you thought that you was gonna experience seeing, but you didn't. And all those toxic thoughts, those arguments that y'all used to have with y'all exes, they no longer exist in your relationship now. So they could be died off. So there's a lot of things that could involve around death. Doesn't necessarily mean somebody has to physically die, but anybody that plays with you, anybody that plays with your kindness, takes it for weakness or whatever, their ideas, their thoughts, 2 years later, they're still struggling, and you're on your way, you're on your chariot, right? You're on your chariot as she is right there, and he or she, it doesn't matter what individual he or she, it is generalized. So, like I said, the people that try to play you, or even the mental state of you, all of that toxic, anything toxic is dying off. Is what I'm picking up on, because you're expecting good things. You know what I mean? You expect great things for yourself, I assume, right? So the reason why, like I said, the reason why you do things for people is because you want to see them succeed, right? So anybody that's wishing bad upon you, they're only wishing bad upon themselves. You can say send back the sender. Whenever you feel a toxic thought or a toxic environment, or you feel not good about yourself, that's probably attacks that they're trying to send onto you, like family members, I should say, and they're trying to insinuate, they're probably talking about you at the dinner table, at the breakfast table, you never know. So I can say just send back the sender. That's what you gotta say, and that energy should send right back to them, right? That's why it's very important to unlock your powers, guys. So we have 4 of Wands. Right? You might be breaking free from that box that you're used to, right? It could be that cubicle, that 9 to 5, or whatever the case is. I'm not saying 9 to 5 is a bad. This is when I think of a 9 to 5, right? I think of a 9 to 5 like this, because I've worked jobs, but I've never really classified them as a 9 to 5. What's the difference is a career and a lifestyle is different from you just going to a certain location for that amount of time and trading your time for money. If you do something at a specific location, but it's like you enjoy it, that's not considered a 9 to 5. Regardless if you get paid or don't, that's not considered. A 9 to 5 is going to a location that you do not like and trading your time for money. You're going to be breaking away from that system. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be breaking away from trading your time for money. The difference is when you enjoy doing something, or even if you get paid from it, you're cool with getting paid from whatever you're doing. I remember I used to work in a grocery store, and I would work, like my hours would be like from like 8, like full-time hours, because I would be listed as a part-time worker, but I always work manager hours. So it's like, that was a lifestyle for me because I dedicated myself to the grocery store. So it wasn't a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 would have been, let's say I clocked in at 8, and then I went to And I'm just trying to show you guys because just because you work in a location doesn't make it a 9 to 5. It depends on your mindset and the things you get out of it. Like a 9 to 5 would have been like I go in at 6, I end at no, I go in at 8, I end at 11. Or not 11. 8 I go in at 8, I end at 5. But 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. or 9, not, like okay, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. right, 9 to 5. But what I used to do is I used to end up taking on other shifts just because, like I said, at the time I was single. You feel me? I wasn't married and all of that, so it was just like, all right, cool, let me be productive. That wasn't really a 9 to 5 at that point because it was like a lifestyle because I just dedicated my life to just the grocery store life and produce and I evolved in it. I was looking at it like, okay, different stores, locations, transport. It was like a hobby for me, right? So it depends on your situation. I ended up leaving that to go work to work with the autism community, but I later started to see that I wanted something more for myself because I was doing it for myself, but at the same time I was also doing it because I wanted more, and this terror on YouTube, this is where I stumbled upon. You know what I mean? This is where everything changed for me because this is where I started to see what I really truly wanted for myself, and that was to just be able to do the things that I want to do according to the time that I want to do that. It doesn't matter what I do in life. I could be a construction worker, I could be a doctor, I could be whatever I put my mind to, and so can you. But we just gotta remember that we have times on our hands, right? And if you have to work 8 hours or whatever, and you find that you're not able to do a lot, like me, I like to train, I like to read, I like to take naps. You know what I'm saying? I like to take a quick little 15-minute power nap. I like to do certain things that take up a little bit of time, like training. I probably do like twice a day, you feel me? So it's like, I enjoy doing that, and I just didn't no longer want to cut the things that I love short and I never wanted to trade my time for money. I left the grocery store to go there, so it was like, it wasn't about being a solid paycheck, it was just about, okay, let me see what else is in life. And when I went there, that definitely became that because I couldn't really advance as far as the hours go. I couldn't really, it was just a straight full-time shift. So it was like when you're working full-time, it's just, that's when it becomes a 9 to 5 and you're just working for that specific time where you really can't, switch around your hours and stuff. So it's just the freedom of just being able to manage the time when you're on your end. You know what I mean? That is the ultimate goal, is freedom. So that's why you see a lot of people that go in tents and things like that because they want to break away. But I see you guys taking off. This fall directly under the shooting star, and I feel like you guys are going to be taking off. So you're probably not going to have to live in a box or a tiny house. You're probably going to have your dream house. You know what I mean? Just do what you love. Find what you love and try to chase it as much as possible. You never know what God got in store for you. You never know the type of situation He can put you in. Just try to always remember that whenever you feel like things ain't working out for you, right? Just always remember that. So that's very important. Okay, so now we got that. Let's go ahead and read another one. Okay. I'll just be sharing certain things with you guys, just in case you guys think that I'm just heard on YouTube and I never had to. No, I had to do some things like as far as like work on my craft. But you learn from that stuff though. That stuff's never a waste of time. Like even certain jobs that you may get. I always say this though. If you don't like a job or you're not really feeling it anymore because you want to focus on yourself, never let them fire you. Always resign first. Because if you have the red flags that they're coming in and saying this and that or whatever, and they feel like they're examining you way more than initially, always leave a job before you get fired. That's one thing I can't say because at the end of the day, if you go in entrepreneurship and doesn't work out for you, you can always get another job to pay your bills. That's a fact. But the only thing is when you go for another job, they're gonna look at your last job, not even on the criteria of are you capable of doing this job, but also are you gonna make your time? What kind of person are you? That's because you can't really. That's like a banker, right? Somebody can be great with finances, but if they're not trustworthy, you're not gonna want them working for you as an accountant, right? They just steal your money. It's just no purpose. They could be. I don't care how good they are with money or how fast they can count out. If they steal or if they're not trustworthy people, that's a pot of you right there. You just asking for it at that point. So people always look at the characteristics. So the whole fired thing, if somebody gets fired, it means they was incapable of being with that company. So I encourage you guys, before you get fired, you see coming, resign from that location. That way you can say that you left on your own terms, and if you have to go to another job, they can call that, and that job will be like, yeah, he resigned, he didn't get fired. So, or she resigned, she didn't get fired. So just a little tip for you guys. That's what I always do. I resign. I don't wait till I get fired from something. Especially if I'm not feeling it no more. When you don't feel something no more, you tend to show it, right? You tend to show it because you come in a little, sloppy or whatever. Like, you try your best to keep your composure, but a lot of times you're thinking about going home and work and doing your other things, so you're not even focused on your job at hand. So on the task at hand. So when it gets to that point mentally, I'll say just resign. Worst case scenario, you can find another job 2-3 months later. Go sleep in your car or whatever. But at least you have an opportunity. Don't let you being fired take away all your opportunities from getting another location. Right? Great. Another message I got for us. Two of Pentacles. We had a figure 8. It's crazy. I enjoy getting this card because I actually do exactly. I'm actually on our last card after this. Now with this one, right? This is the pair that is under, and I want you guys to understand the universe is like a figure 8, right? Everything seems to go around. What goes around comes around, right? Like a figure 8. What goes around comes around. So treat it that way. You know what I mean? Meditation again is only her, is only sun card. Treat it that way. Once you guys sit down and you, like I said, think about what you want. What you put out in the universe comes back, right? Sometimes it comes back times 10. So ensure that you're putting your time into the things that, like, I don't even care if you guys don't watch videos or whatever. Like if anything is affecting you in a negative way and it's not being a motivation, like I would listen to music as a motivation purpose where I'm listening but I'm getting stuff done. I'm keep maintaining the house or whatever the case is, right? Make sure you guys are putting the time into what you wish to, get out of, right? That's the ultimate goal. You want to put the time in because you want to get it back, right? Is what I'm picking up on. You want to make sure whatever you put your time in, you get it back. Get it back some way or even times 10, right? So that's just a little message for you guys. Life is like a figure 8. You get back what you put out there in the world. Negative or positively, you gotta make that choice. Alright, that's great. What's the next message you got for us? Okay, so we got 2 of Wands. And this is the last pair, but if you notice, right? You're going to be dropping a lot of that dead weight. There's a lot of that dead weight you've been carrying. You're going to be dropping it. You know what I'm saying? If you do everything at the top of the card deck, a lot of these things at the bottom is going to start happening. For an example, begin to meditate. Begin to show wisdom towards the universe, and they're going to teach you things, right? Allow the universe to teach you. You're going to be avoiding a lot of death spells. A lot of people's spirits and stuff's going to die off. It dies off. Like, you ever notice when you're working on your craft and then you have people, that want to distract you, and then, they're working on their craft too or whatever they're doing. And 2 years later, you made it. You know what I'm saying? You went through a lot, but you made it. You were succeeding. You doing good. And those people died off. Like, they're no longer even fathoming trying to worry about you because they know that you're not tolerating that. You see what I'm saying? So ensure you guys are doing that. Next pair, you're gonna be taking off like a shooting star, right? You're gonna be taking off like a shooting star, and that's gonna allow you to get out of that box that you've been in. I'm talking that box when I say there's constant things that you do. There's things where you feel trapped. The attitude, anything you feel trapped. You feel like the feelings, the person you're wrong, whatever it is. You're gonna be taking off. You're gonna get out of that box. You're gonna get out of that box of mind, feeling that everything is going wrong, whatever the case is, right? Next is the meditation pool. Your pool is meditation. That is to say, understand that life goes around, right? Life is a figure eight. The universe is a figure eight. So when you get out what you put in, and the universe sends you back what you put out, right? So ensure that you guys are putting out positivity, manifesting things that you wish. Trust me, I've done it. I've manifested the woman that I never thought I'd see again, sung in a song, or when I was doing music, and I just manifest, and that's where every time my first deck was a manifestation oracle deck. So it's on the channel, but I'm not just saying that to say it. I've done it personally, like it really works. So show you guys are not out here, even wishing death upon people, because that like it already happens anyway. You don't have to necessarily wish death on somebody because it already happens. Like people run their well dry by themselves. Like what I'm saying? It comes with time. Everything happens in time, and you know what I'm saying. You just gotta stay focused. Now you'll be dropping a lot of dead weight, right? This is the first card we pulled, but this is gonna relate, right? You're gonna be dropping a lot of dead weight. Because of that, you're now going to be free, because you've been dropping a lot of dead weight. And it's important to know that there's a lot of things that's on your back that probably don't even need to be on your back. You're probably worrying about so much other things that has nothing to do with you. A trick. If you're busy and whatever it is that you're doing, put your phone on do not disturb, because there's a lot of people that's going to call you and distract you. You are so kind-hearted. I understand you're probably picking up people's problems, people's issues, but let me tell you, you didn't make that bed, they did. So I encourage you guys, yes, you want to be helpful, but if it's distracting you from being where you need to be, and it ain't nothing that you made, ain't responsibility, it's not a life or death situation. They want to call your friend to argue about the next person, or call your friend to discuss to you about a situation they have with another individual. You don't need to be involved in that. You don't need your name to be dragged through none of that situation. You need to focus on what you got to focus on, because remember, you're trying to stay above water. They're probably already at the rock bottom, but misery likes company sometimes. I say sometimes. I'm not saying old people are like that, but misery likes company sometimes. So ensure you're not giving people your attention, and they're just like, okay, really, you don't with you, and then because it's like you can have $1 million, but the minute you're not constantly making more or maintaining that, anything that involves around that value that you have, the car, the house, or whatever the case is, or even just having the basic needs, your apartment, your small apartment, whatever you have, if you're not constantly investing, or not even just investing, even if you don't invest, but constantly making sure your finances are straight, or making sure your health is in great condition, your spiritual side is good, because without your spiritual, your soul, you can't do nothing else. So these people are like, turn your soul on, and you're carrying all this dead weight on your body, on your back. Let it go. Let it go. Don't even let these people disturb. Put your finger, do not disturb, and don't let these people disturb you. Because what that's going to do is, you're going to help out and distract. Now it's like you're not even working on yourself. So now it's like when your well goes dry, who's going to save you? They can't even save themselves. How are they going to save you? You see what I'm saying? So just ensure that you guys, yes, you're going to help it. Now we'll put yourself in a predicament where now you got to sacrifice, and now you got to suffer. Because, like I said, you can't go to them for help, so you got to think about it. You can only do what you can do. You can only give what you have. Just like love. You don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? You can only give out what you have. You don't. If I ask you for chips and you ain't got chips, how you gonna give me chips? You ain't got no chips. You see what I'm saying? So think of it like that. Yes, you want to help, but they say even on the airplane, you gotta help yourself first, because if you don't help yourself, you ain't gonna be able to help anybody. If anybody is putting you so much through stress level because they made their decisions in life, especially the adults, they made the decision in life, but they decided, I can't handle my problems, so I'm gonna put them on you and see if you can help me handle my own problems that I created. Doesn't make sense. That's why it's very important to sit down and think and relax. Things come with time. Everything happens with time. The people that are seen as the legends or whatever, those are people that last, not even last a long time, but their name years. You know what I'm saying? So that's important to do. It does extend, like, just by you just, take your time and all of that. But we're gonna go ahead and end this reading. Remember, you could be expecting something, so ensure that you guys are putting on what you wish to receive. Then you'll be expecting, things like that. Expecting great things out of it, right? If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video if you feel like people need to hear this. Subscribe if you do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, hit the post notification so you can know exactly when I drop the video. Alright, see you guys soon.